Hello, folks. So this is part 27 of Uptime Kuma, and let me just record myself. I noticed one interesting thing. So I was actually trying to get the data from the pods. So I was copying the data using kubectl copy, the data from V1 and V2 because it has all the data. The interesting thing is I didn't notice that there was an error while doing the copy. And after doing the copy, I noticed that, let's say this is the V2 in pod, right? So this one basically has an issue. So if you look at here, so this one is basically V2 in pod. So this data 175800989521, the data stopped halfway. I was wondering if my program just stopped working in between. How come this happened and whatnot, right? But the reality was, and I was checking the code, this has this is actually a promise, and you write to the list of monitors updated file and then you resolve, so it will wait for it, right? So this happened only because the kubectl copy didn't work properly, and hence so I tried again the kubectl copy. So this time the kubectl copy worked properly. So here you can actually see, so if you open this up, you can actually go here and so if you go here, you can close this, and if you open this up, you'll notice that there are a lot of list of monitors added and list of monitors updated. So this is the last one to actually look for. There are a lot of list of monitors updated in between. Actually, it's not just 175800098. 98 is mentioned here. 98, 95, 98, 99, 98, 98, 98, 96, 9885, 9888. So 98, 98, 98, 97, 96, 9895, 218, 9895, 9895, 9895. I think this is 9895, 218. Basically, this was supposed to be some 367 lines or 368 lines. You can actually see that it stopped at 3, not 4, right? Ideally, it was supposed to be this much. Anyways, here you can actually see that 9895.218, there are a lot more files after it, and finally it came up here. And then list of status pages, you can actually see that later it had multiple status pages. So interesting stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's important to keep your data clean. I also had to do this remove parent. Another idea to do was like, one is top level parents, right? Let's say there are some 10 of them. Then then the idea was, I'll actually just to make this one. Let's say there are 10 of them, right? 1, 2, 3, and all that, and so on till 10. For these, I wanted to check the name and remove them, so that's what I've done here. Next, check out all the monitors and see if the name or the path has SGCRM, and then remove that and its children. So that was another idea. Basically, after going through this, I was worried if it can cause some what do you say, simultaneous access of data, because I'm deleting the monitors, one of the monitors simultaneously. I don't want to delete it, and also how the loop changes. So the idea was, I will remove, I mean, this is one thing at a time, probably 10 of them are there, something like that, out of the 500. Later I'll take all the 490 whatever is remaining, or maybe go through all of them one by one, and and then remove its children in case any of the names or path has SDCRM or whatever, and then remove its children, uh, and then come back and then loop through the others. But then, if you loop through the others, if you remove the children, like let's say you have 100 of them first, right? You loop through the 100 one at a time, and later in that 100 you remove some 50. Then will this go through 1 to 100 or will it remove the 50 is the question. So this is what I got confused about. But if you use a for loop, no, but we don't need a for loop. Here it's a key value pair. So you just remove it. Something to check out. So if you remove, I think it will still work out. Not sure though. Something to try out. For example, let's just say node. I have a is equal to say 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 5 5 6 6 7 7 8 8 9 9, right? Now I have this, right? Now I go through A, so I just say element of A, right? And then I say I also remove some from A, right? So I remove, let's say I remove element, delete A of element, and then I delete, let's say for the first element I remove the first element. I'll say if element is equal to 1, right? I'll delete it, and then I'll also delete some more. Let's say I'll delete let's say A of say 2, and then delete A of 3. So now when it's 1, it will delete 1, and then it will also delete 2 and 3. Will it go through 4 5, or will it be like what will it be like is the question, right? So I'll say console.log and say something like A element and then A of element, right? Let's see how that goes. A is not iterable. It's not off, so you cannot have off. Let's say in, and I'll just say const, right? So now if I just go through this, it says 1, and since I remove 2 3, it goes through 4 only, it doesn't go through 2 or 3. So that is interesting actually. So this is what I was wondering about. If I actually remove while looping through this, or looping through the key and value of an object, key for each key in an object, and then while processing one of the keys I remove the other keys in an object, will the for each key still be iterating through the keys that got removed previously when processing one of the keys? Will it still be there? Will it process through the keys that got removed when processing one of the keys, or will it not be processed? Looks like it will not be processed, at least in this case, but I'm not sure. But this is a very tricky thing to do, so I wouldn't want to do that. So let's turn that. So yeah, anyways, so for now I'm just gonna go ahead and like leave that, since I don't want to do that. But the ideal way to do it would be maybe use get all the keys in one go, right? And then iterate through the keys, get all the keys using object.keys, and then iterate through the keys using for loop, and then delete some of the keys and delete some of the keys from the key list and from the object. So something like object.keys, get the key list, right? And then we'll say something like Later delete from the key list and delete from the monitors the key. So you'll use delete monitors of some key, and you'll also delete, like you'll go through these, right? So you'll say something like key list, I don't know, deleted by doing some push pop here and there, right? So um, yeah, I mean tricky stuff, but yeah, you change the length. A bit tricky, but ideally it's better to just do a, what do you say, instead of deleting like this, you can just do a filter, I think, because the name itself is actually, when I say filter, I say list of filtered monitors. You can just filter and say create a new array where you remove, don't put some of these and then put the remaining. So it's a bit complicated filter in this case, where you have the element has children and it's part of the same list of items and whatnot. So you'll have to remove those keys from the list of keys and whatnot, and also remove the key value pair, and not iterate through them again. Anyways, here will be actually this will be the trickiest part. Even in the previous one, we would be going through each key, and some keys would be deleted already. But and if you go through some key and then later delete that key, it's fine, because however we finally put the final list only here. And key list, if you remove some of the keys, the for loop gets tricky, because then it has to do again. So every time it will look for a length, so dot length. So the length of the key list will change, and accordingly the value of the index also should change. Index will keep changing, however. And anyways, tricky stuff. Yeah, something tricky, but for now I don't have that scenario. I'm not gonna go ahead and try that scenario out. Pretty tricky stuff, but for now I think I'll do away with this, where I have the list of monitors updated and whatnot, and I'll work with it. And list of monitors filtered also have. So just a minute. Filtered, yeah, so I have that. So yep, cool. So that's all I had for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. So this was part 27. Bye.